It's about that time I take a deep dive and I go all in. Faith like I'm walking on water, I better not fall in. Yeah, I'ma keep my eyes on you. Seek you like I'm supposed to do. Your love is easy like it's 1 + 2.
Oh my gosh, y'all, welcome to the Hunger and Thirst YouTube channel. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Full transparency right off the rip. That phrase gives me the ick so bad. It is so cringy to me. For me, when y'all say it, it's cute. Don't get me wrong. But when I say it, it's like, girl, ew. And if I be honest, uncomfortableness like that, things that give me the ick is what has caused me to stall the creation of this channel for so long. So if you are listening, I got a word for you right off the bat. Stop avoiding what's uncomfortable. Stop procrastinating. Stop stalling because something gives you the ick, because it's cringy, because you can't see yourself doing it. Sometimes you have to ignore the ick. Sometimes you have to ignore the ick and do it anyway, because while you're icked out, somebody needs what you're refusing to do. Somebody needs your obedience to be delivered. Somebody needs your obedience to be an answer to their prayer. Somebody needs you to do it, right? And you're not doing it because it gives you the ick. Baby, it's 2024. It's 2024. Let's get with it, okay? So here we are. Welcome to the Hunger and Thirst YouTube channel. And I'm so excited for this journey to begin. And we're going to jump right into it. All right, so the first question that I want to address is, what is Hunger and Thirst Fellowship? Whether you already follow us on Instagram at Hunger_Thirst Fellowship and you watch the Bible studies there, or you watch the Bible studies that are already up here on YouTube, I want to formally reintroduce or introduce to some the ministry of Hunger and Thirst. So what it is currently is a Bible study ministry. It is, I got my notes here so I don't go off of track and, wrap you guys up. But it's a community rooted in fostering, maintaining, and maturing a hunger and thirst for God. The scriptural basis for this ministry is Matthew 5:6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. That word shall is a promise from God. So if you have a hunger and a thirst for God, for the things of Him, He in turn will fill you. That's just how it works. You hunger and thirst, He fills. You hunger and thirst, He fills. So that's kind of the overarching umbrella of what this ministry is. And I say currently it is a Bible study ministry because if I've learned anything about God is that He's always moving, He's always speaking. And you cannot get married to one aspect of Him or one aspect of what He's doing in your life. You have to move with God. So what this ministry is today may not be what it is next year. But for now, this is where He has us. We do Bible study every first Wednesday of the month, which also may change. Might get a little bit more frequently here soon, but that's kind of where He has us. And like I said, it is about fostering that hunger and thirst. So whether you have never had a relationship with God and you're just embarking on this journey, it's helping that person build up that appetite for God, maintaining it. So if you had it, and if you have been like many of us, you've kind of been off and on, it's been touch and go. It helps for you to maintain some consistency with God and then maturing in that appetite. So yes, I have a hunger and thirst for God, but I don't want to be on milk all my life. At some point, we have to mature to the meat of the word, the meat of the things of God. So that's kind of in a nutshell what Hunger and Thirst Fellowship is all about, what we stand for, what we're built on, what we're backed in. The next question that you probably have is, girl, who are you? Okay, and I'm glad you asked. I don't need my notes for that one. I am Amaya. I have developed this like online virtual name of Maya Michelle. That is my Instagram name that has become also my like virtual digital stage name. I'm not sure, but it's my first and my middle name, Maya Michelle. I am a 27-year-old woman with no kids, okay, praising, but I also don't have a man, okay. So I'm in a serious season of waiting on God, okay, my God, and I am waiting on the world to change, okay. So keep me in your prayers for that. But like I said, I'm a 27-year-old woman. I currently am a registered nurse at a hospital here in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. I graduated from Frostburg State University in 2018 with a Bachelor's of Science in Health Science. I graduated from Stevenson University with a Bachelor's of Nursing in 2022. What else about me? I am a preacher and a speaker by the qualifications of the Lord Himself. I have not been to seminary school and all of those things. This is literally a gift from God that even I was not expecting, and I did not want, by the way, I may say. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but it's all God given. So I just kind of give God free reign to have his way in my life, in and through me, and for him to get the glory out of everything that he chooses to do and speak through me. So that's me. This YouTube is really truly not about me, but I just wanted to give you guys some background so that you kind of know who you're receiving this information from. It comes from God. I'm just the vessel, the mouthpiece that he's speaking through. But I don't want you to be like, this girl. No, I'm your home girl at this point, okay? I'm your home girl. I'm letting you know what the Lord is saying. Whether you a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, I'm your home girl. I am your sister, your cousin, okay? Okay, so why and how did I start Hunger and Thirst Fellowship? So the backstory to this is that God had been nudging me for a while about starting my own ministry. Again, big ick, okay? Very, very cringy. And people, have been speaking it over me like, you're supposed to lead, and, you're supposed to do this, and God is, and I'm like, amen, I do receive it, but babe. And really it was confirmation. So the things, when people would tell me those things, it wasn't like news to me. It was confirming what God had already said to me, but it was just still very cringy, because what do you mean? And like, are you sure? Like, are you okay, God? But when it became very clear to me about hunger and thirst, I told God, like, I'm really gonna need serious confirmation from you. Like, not even necessarily, well, if you use other people, cool, but I need serious confirmation before I step out and do this. I need to know that it's from you and that you are 100% backing it. So the first thing I said, God, is give me the name, right? Give me the name. Like, I'm not about to sit here and stress myself out thinking of a name, because if this is something that you want me to do, you'll supply everything that's needed for me to do it. So I can't even remember how the name came to mind. It literally just came to my mind, Hunger and Thirst. And I said, okay, that's cute. I'm gonna write it down. And I said, God, I'm gonna write this down because I need to trace you in this. I don't necessarily need a sign, but I need the confirmation to be so divine and so God-given that I'm going to document it so that I can come back and document when you confirmed it. So I wrote it down in my journal, Hunger and Thirst Fellowship. Like, that's the name that God gave me, waiting for confirmation. I was at a conference, and then that particular day, the whole conference day went on, and at the very end during dismissal, it's like people were doing just random stuff, and the person on the mic just started speaking, those that hunger and thirst for righteousness shall be filled, and kept repeating it, and it's like nobody else in the room was hearing it, but it pierced my ears, and my mouth dropped, and I was like, oh, you for real? Like, you really want me to do this? Like, that blew my mind. It had nothing to do with what was going on in the conference that day. It was just random, and it was repetitive. Like, you're gonna know that I'm talking to you. And I said, okay, God, well, got it, and I think that was in May of last year, and I still didn't even start this until August. So again, don't be like me and procrastinate because you icked out. Do it. Obey the first time, okay? Delayed obedience is still disobedience, but I thank God for grace. So that is how this came about. And then even further connecting back to how Hunger and Thirst came about, when I really think back and look back over my life, God has been setting me up all along, right? Of course, I grew up in church, or, whatever the traditional story. We grew up in church, my mother had me, dancing, Sunday school, doing all the things, but I was just kind of doing it because I had to, right? But then on my college campus, my freshman year, I was a normal college student, doing all the college student things, okay? All of them, all right? I did all the college student things. Y'all know what that is. Y'all know all the, yeah. Okay, then my sophomore year, I started going to a Bible study. It turns out the girls that were leading that Bible study were seniors. And then they were looking for people to take over after them. Babe, I was about to stop going, because if you're looking for people to take over, I know how God worked in my life, and I'm about to never come to this again, honestly, because I know y'all about to say me. I just know it. I know it. So I ducked them for a little while. And then they were doing evangelism one day, and I was helping them, and they were like, oh yeah, Maya, can we talk to you? No. No, you cannot. As y'all know, the inevitable, they was like, we think you should be one of the leaders. So I led it with a couple of other individuals. So I led Bible study on a college campus, which is not normal, nor is it easy. That was a very challenging time, because I'm still in college. I'm still very much living the college experience and trying to share the light and trying to walk the walk, talk the talk. It was very hard. But I did that. I also established a liturgical dance ministry on that campus. I started one. I did all the bylaws and all that stuff. I did that. right? Then I graduated, and at my home church, I then became ordained as a minister, and then I was over the youth ministry. So I'm like, okay, God, you real strategic. I see what you're doing, because everything that I did then, now I'm doing this now. Like, you really set it up. So I say all that to say that the steps of a good man truly are ordered. God has already ordered your steps. And it don't get more ordered than that. Because when I look back, I'm like, literally everything that I did then was like a setup. It was kind of, I wouldn't say practice, but it was like the prelude to what he's calling me to now. And then even beyond this, it's like I'm getting you. It was kind of like training camp. Like, you ain't new to this. You true to this. You already been through this. You already know how to deliver the word to this generation. You already know. Like, I've already set you up. So that's just beautiful. God is just so amazing in how he works. So trust him. One of my biggest goals spiritually for 2024 is for God to be able to trust me. And that is so deep, because his love is one thing, right? I don't have to work for it. It's freely given. He loves me, period. But for him to trust me, it requires something of me. It requires a different posture. It requires me to carry myself differently. It requires me to make different decisions, right? And it's one thing for me to trust God, but can he trust me, right? Can you imagine God being able to fully trust you? That is something. That is something. That is something. And trust is built over time through routine, understanding, submission, and trials. Time, routine, understanding, submission, trials, trust, right? So my goal by December 31st, 2024, by the grace of God, is for me to live a life, develop a lifestyle where God can trust his daughter, right? He can trust me to obey. He can trust my discipline. He can trust the way I'm going to respond. He can trust me with anything, right? That is a lot. That's a lot. But that is what I am dedicating myself to. That is my number one spiritual goal, is to be in such a place with God, have such a hunger and thirst for him, where he can trust me. He can trust putting it in my hand. He can trust me with the blessings. He can trust me with whatever it is, because we've built that up, right? So that's kind of what I'm really working on this year. That's what I'm dedicating my 2024 to spiritually, amongst other things. But that is my main goal. And if I feel like if I can get that, then everything else will follow. You know, kind of like seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added unto you. So that is my biggest spiritual goal. Now, on the flip side of that, my biggest struggle spiritually, I would say, is consistency and discipline. And not even just biggest struggle spiritually. That's probably my biggest struggle all the way around the board in any area of life, is consistency and discipline. But what I do with that in mind, knowing that about myself, what I do or what I try to do, and if you're like me and you struggle with consistency and discipline, what you can try to implement as well is creating a routine. Routine is really a secret gem. You know, I'm all about being spontaneous and doing things on the fly. That's beautiful, right? But real results are rooted in routine, right? Results, or the lack thereof, are rendered by the routine you refuse to implement. Let me say that one more time, because if that's for you, you need to catch it and keep it. Results I'm messing up. Results, or the lack thereof, are rendered by the routine you refuse to implement. Routine is key. So that means I don't care what's going on God's green earth. When you open your eyes, you get in that word. You worship, you pray, whatever it is, or before you go to sleep, or whatever it is that you figure out works for you. When your alarm goes off, whatever it is, build the routine, right? And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. The flip side about routine is that routine is created whether you're intentional about it or not. So whether we know it or not, a lot of us are already working in routines that we didn't even put in work to create, right? It's routine for you to check your social media. It's routine. Like, our body just naturally does it. So the same way that those routines were built unintentionally, imagine the routines that can be built intentionally. So to combat that struggle, which it is a huge struggle, discipline and consistency is hard. It is hard, okay? I am telling you what I know. It is hard. But routine literally is the root of results. The results that we want. We all want results, right? You have to create a routine. Start small. And you don't have to have this extravagant from 9 to 10, 10 to... No. Just start small every day, whether it's you driving in your car. And what I found is build the routine into something that you already do naturally. You take a shower every day. That shower time is you and God time. You get in your car, you drive or you commute to wherever. That car time is you and God. Like, the easiest way to put it into something that's already a routine in your life and infiltrate that with the presence of God or the word of God or prayer with God, communion with God. All right, so to wrap this up, what you can expect from this area of the YouTube channel, because the Bible studies are done live, so they'll be under like the live stream portion of the YouTube channel. But this channel, what you can expect is things like devotionals, diving a little deeper beyond the Bible study, little snippets, nuggets, tidbits, behind the scenes. All of that stuff is going to be done here, where we can be a little bit more intimate than what the live will allow, right? The lives are mainly like 45 minutes every first Wednesday of the month, right? But once a month is not enough, right? It's not enough. So this portion of the YouTube is to give you a little bit more throughout the month. From the first Wednesday of one month to the first Wednesday of the next month, this YouTube is going to kind of fill the space, which of course you should still fill the space on your own with your own relationship with God. But this is just kind of to be a supplement, like a vitamin, so to speak, is what will happen on this side of the channel, where we can be a little bit more informal, a little bit more transparent, a little bit more vulnerable, and walk a little closer with God through different avenues than just the Bible study itself. So there's so much more to come with Hunger and Thirst. We are planning for big things under the direction of the Holy Spirit, of course. And I am truly excited. The fact that I am on here talking about, welcome to my YouTube channel, y'all, God is doing something. God is really doing something. And what I can say now, let me not give him too much talk time, but the enemy is mad. Okay, and I know the enemy is mad because even to record this video, the enemy has fought me so hard. My team knows I was supposed to record this last week, okay? And then I was supposed to record it yesterday, and I just couldn't get out of a phone. I just couldn't do it. And I'm just here to serve the enemy notice that, babe, you gonna forever lose. You gonna forever lose, okay? It's the way you act. Anyways, so I just want to encourage somebody, even in this first video, I know it's very informal and funny and kind of get to know me, get to know the ministry thing, but I want to encourage you, or let me be encouragement to you, my own life, for you to do what God told you to do. He will confirm it. He is backing you. You will not be ashamed. God gave me a Bible chapter that I try to read every day, Isaiah 54. It talks about how you will not be put to shame. Read that, Isaiah 54. Read that. It's going to bless you. But do what God told you to do. He told you to do it because it's needed. It is necessary, right? There's purpose on it. Do it. I don't care if you can't see yourself doing it, if you're scared, if it gives you the ick. I don't care how oversaturated the market is, how many people are doing it. Thousands of people have YouTube channels. Create yours. Thousands of people have podcasts. Create yours. There are 1 million, trillion, billion books out and authors. Write yours. There are 7,000 hairstylists and nail techs and estheticians and eyelash people and all of those things. It does not matter. Why? Because there are a people that God has that needs you. They need it from you. They need what you have. There's an audience for you. So I don't care what they're doing. Do what he told you to do. So get excited. Obey the Lord, you know what I'm saying, and walk on this journey with us. We are excited at Hunger and Thirst to be a part of your journey with God, a part of your relationship building or maintaining or maturing with God. And most people don't know that what I do, these videos and me preaching and me speaking and doing all that stuff, it really helps me more than anybody else. Like, it helps me long before I sit in front of a camera and record it. So I thank God that this ministry is not just for other people, but it's for me as well. It impacts me as well. So I love y'all. Until the next video, I don't even know how you close out a YouTube video, honestly. We're going to think of something cute to say, like, keep on craving them. No, I don't like that. Ooh, cut that out. I don't know. We'll think of a catchy, you know, closing tag or something. But for now, y'all be blessed. Look out for the next Bible study coming on May 1st. At 7 p.m. It'll be live on this YouTube, and it'll be live on our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe. Turn on the notifications. There it is. Oh, come on now. Hit the notification bell. Turn on this. Turn on that. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Share. Like. Whatever. I don't know. See y'all.
It's about that time I take a deep dive and I go all in. Faith like I'm walking on water, I better not fall in. Yeah, I'ma keep my eyes on you. Seek you like I'm supposed to do. Your love is easy like